A couple of years ago, I got very excited because a friend of mine who runs the psychology department at Sussex University, Brian Bates, showed me some research on creativity done at Berkeley in the 70s by a brilliant psychologist called Donald McKinnon, which seemed to confirm in the most impressively scientific way all the vague observations and intuitions that I'd had over the years. McKinnon showed that the most creative had simply acquired a facility for getting themselves into a particular mood. McKinnon described this particular facility as an ability to play. Indeed, he described the most creative when in this mood as being childlike, for they were able to play with ideas, to explore them, not for any immediate practical purpose, but just for enjoyment. Play for its own sake.
So let's unpack what John Cleese said and get you a framework you can use to unlock your creativity and something that you can apply to your screenwriting or any other art form. Creativity is the one thing I don't believe you can teach someone. It's innate and comes from that place in your soul that is intangible and personal to you. However, don't despair. There is a way to create an environment that is most conducive to sparking your creativity, and it is way easier than you think. What we'll do is talk through 3 concepts: state of mind, control of your environment, and the taming of your ego. So I spend a great deal of time on my channel and in my writing community talking about your mind and how important it is to be in tune with it in order to create great writing. When it comes to creativity, this goes double. As John Cleese said, we are most creative as children, and the reason for this is connected to all 3 of the factors I mentioned. Let's look at the first. A child's mind is the purest it will ever be, and with every year of life and experience, it gets more and more affected by the world around it. The reason why a child can be creative is because ignorance is bliss, and it doesn't know any thought or idea is out of bounds. It doesn't know that you can't say that or you can't do that. Not until parents, adults tell that child, no, stop, that's wrong, or they get praise for certain actions that may or may not actually be inherently good. So in essence, what I'm saying is part of the reason why you struggle with creativity is because of how self-conscious you are of your own thoughts, and even worse, the impact of what the world and the people who shaped you have had on the way you think and reason. Thus, the only way for you to overcome this state of mind is to reconnect with the child inside you. Yes, I'm saying you need to become a child again. I have a belief that as adults, we are all just big lumbering children with a ton of scars and corruption from life and experience. The only thing that separates us from our 5-year-old selves is about 150 extra pounds of weight and a whole load of experiences, good and bad. Start to let some of that go, or at least not allow it to stop you being a kid again, and you will be amazed at what your mind can create. This brings me on to the next thing: controlling your environment. You ever heard the term, you are the company you keep? Well, the people around you and where you happen to be physically may be stifling your creativity in ways you can't imagine. After you watch this video, or actually right now, let's not wait, because you probably won't do it if you wait. I want you to pause this video and write down the names of the 5 people closest to you. When I say closest, I mean the people you spend the most time with and talk to the most in your day-to-day life. Now, of those people, how many of them are you comfortable telling how you really feel about yourself, the world, and even how you feel about them? Of that group, how many of them would you not be embarrassed if they knew who you really are behind closed doors? If they knew some of your deepest, darkest secrets? If the answer is 0, then right there is some of your problem. If you have at least one person that you wouldn't care, that's a start, but that to me isn't the utopia. You see, the reason why I have never had a problem with creativity is because I actually never grew up, and thus I never developed a care for what people think about my perspective or thoughts. This is both a gift and a curse, but the reality is my circle has always been defined by people who do not terrify me if they knew who I am, because they pretty much do. I do not hide my thoughts or opinions, and it has had the incredible effect of a never-ending well of creativity. I am, if you knew me in real life, a huge child that didn't grow up. This comes with a whole load of other issues that we won't get into because this isn't a therapy session, but you get the point. You must be comfortable with the people around you, and you must be comfortable being yourself around them, your true self, or at least as close to it as possible. If you live a lie day to day, then your mind will refuse to tell you the truth when you call on it to create and imagine things no other person is able to. This naturally brings us to the coup d'etat, your ego. This right here is your biggest enemy. You have to let go of any and all sense of self-consciousness when you start playing with your ideas. At the genesis stage of creativity and ideas, it does not matter what anyone thinks. What matters is what you think. Your fears come from worrying that your ideas will be terrible and no one will like them, or worse, people will think you're crazy, deluded, disturbed. Yes, maybe they will. In fact, maybe you are all of those things, but in most cases, crazy is subjective. Your insanity is another man's sanity. You have to be brave enough to fall flat on your face with an idea in order to unchain your creativity. The less worried you are about bruising your ego with a ridiculous concept that gets you laughed at, the more creative you will be. If you do not tame your ego, you will start mistaking creativity for conformism. You will start making things or writing things that other people have done because you think that is what works. Then you are forgotten or ignored. I'm going to leave you with something that I learned late in life that may help you get around this. There is someone out there for everyone. Someone out there that thinks the way you do and will understand exactly where you're coming from with the ideas that you create. You will never find them if you're too scared to let yourself be you. Screenwriting, creativity, art, it's not about mass appeal and selling 1 million copies or tickets to your work. It's about connecting with your audience, however big or small. If you can touch the soul of one human with what you create, your work was worth creating. But you will never find out if you are only the person the world tells you that you're allowed to be. Thank you for watching, and I hope my words helped you. If you want to learn more about screenwriting, you can watch this playlist right here, and make sure to sign up to my free newsletter linked in the description.